Hey guys, hey everybody. This is not the Nerd World Order stream. This stream is not a stream. I'm just on here because I was thinking about how much of a tease I am with these streams, and then East Coast just messaged me and said, "Are you a tease streamer?" And so I thought that was funny, and I was planning on coming on anyways to address anyways, just to say hello, because I don't have time to do a stream tonight. I'm not gonna. It's too late to do it, and I just wanted to come on and say, hey to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Things are going good. Just been busy, and hoping to do stream tomorrow night. That's the plan. We'll go with it until we don't, right? Or we will. Right? Either way, we will get to a Nerd World Order stream. Just, I want you to get this concept into your mind of, the nerd, that shows up and he's got the ball, right? And in order to play with him, you have to follow all of his rules. And he wants to be king of the game, but he's the nerd, right? He just happens to have the ball. So, you can either go along with what the nerd says, or you could take, take the nerd's ball and, exclude the nerd kind of thing. Or, you don't want to do that. You don't want to take the nerd's ball and exclude him kind of thing, right? Because then you might be the bad guy, even though he might kind of deserve it a little bit. But rather, let the nerd have his ball, right? And we'll just go and start our own game, right? We're cooler than the nerd, right? We can just go over there and start a new game, right? So, metaphorically, you could think about, we're stuffing the nerd metaphorically in the locker because we don't care about the nerd. We're stuffing the nerd in the locker and we're going over here and we're going to do our own thing. Because I think that's the only thing that we can do. Right? I think that's the only thing that we can do. Until, I don't know. With the way things are, there's a turning that is definitely happening. The pendulum swings, The whip cracks, it snaps. And eventually all this has got things go in cycles, and this is like a really far left, crazy, dystopian, destruction of civilization, destroyers of civilization kind of deal we got going on here, right? Like just complete upside down world, clown world, right? Laughable at best, right? If it wasn't so serious. But it's eventually got to swing back, right? And what's the opposite to super far left? Right? So it's going to happen naturally anyways. So you can be involved with the chaos that will ensue eventually, or you can just kind of get yourself ready and get together with other people and start forming communities and start building your high trust societies again, right? I spent a lot of time this weekend in the garden just messing around. Well, not messing around, I was weeding and stuff, right? And I was still planting stuff here and there, right? I was finding a little spot and I just go and sprinkling stuff into the ground, right? I'm like, ooh, right? Checking things, making sure everything's growing. Everything's starting to pop up now, really nice and whatnot. So things are good. So eventually, I got to start now getting a fence up or something like that, because as soon as things start getting up there, your greens like your beans and especially your peas, anything like that, tomatoes, stuff like that, the deer will come in and you'll be like, oh, Jummins, everything looks so great. And then all of a sudden, one night a deer comes in and goes and snacks on all the tops of your peas and takes them down to the bottom, stunts them, and chews off your tomatoes that are looking so nice, and it's really quite annoying, right? So you got to keep the deer out, keep your sanity. So I'll have to be getting some anti-deer wear. Gonna be putting a big electrical fence up for the squash up over the hill, keep the deers out because can't see them. So gotta have that deer fence up because that's too much stuff to have eaten up and tramped down by some deer. 50 deer could be up on that back of that hill, and it's it's not so bad because the deer really won't come around and bother the squash until there's actual squash there that they can chew on, but they could potentially just be walking through and they'd be tramping over stuff, and you don't want that either because they start breaking vines and the friggin' shoots and stuff like that, and that ain't good. So how's everybody doing anyways? I should get a thing open so I could check out the chat, but what am I doing? Why am I checking out the chat? This is not a stream. You're not checking out the chat, Peter, because you're not streaming right now, right? Right? You're not actually streaming right now. That picture that you see when you click onto this, Fritz Bar, sorry, you said hey, man, and I didn't say anything. Hey, Fritz Bar, how's it going, buddy? It's good to see you, brother. I hope all is well with you. Hope all is well with everybody. That picture when you first open what?
Hey guys.
When you first open this is
this is not
mute this. Get live. What was I saying? This is not a stream. Fritz Bar, hi. This weekend I was in the garden doing a lot of weeding. The wife took the two older girls to a birthday party. Family, the husband is from the States and they live in Alaska. She's from here and they lived here for a few years now. And he hasn't been able to get work in, well, he's been working like kind of like odd jobs, stuff like that, like under the table kind of stuff, I think, but and wherever he can kind of get hired, but he can't get a working visa to stay here. The guy's from the States, they have a family. She's from here, from Sussex, can't get a visa, so they've been here for 2+ years. They're going back to Halifax, Alaska, and they have 2 boys, and they would be same age as my oldest, 8, and my middle, which would be 6. And so they get along great, and they had a birthday party, and then there was 2 or 3 or 4 other families that were there, and all of these families like have 2 to 3 to 4 to children, whatnot, and all like-minded, like anybody that's watching this, you know what I mean? No, none of that. So the only one I think this fella here that was trying to get his work visa, I think he got the first one because he thought it was going to help him there, but didn't end up getting him any further than where he was. So I don't think he did any more after that. So anyways, it was nice. I wish I could have gone to that. We didn't, Carla didn't know that it was, kind of going to be as big as what it was, or else, Gwenny and I could have went too. But Gwenny and I stayed and we played in the garden. She played with me. She blew bubbles, or tried to blow bubbles. She, like, basically not getting any. So then I'd show her to, like, just go like this, to, like, wave them around, right? But then, of course, she'd be like, so just too violent with the waving of the bubbles. So anyways, this isn't a stream, guys. We're going to talk about the new Nerd World Order and the whole concept of stuffing the nerd in the locker, and which is basically, he's going to have his ball. We're just going to go over here and play another game anyways. We don't want to play your game, right? We're tired of playing your game. Right? the, things are going to take place the way that they're taking place, right? There is a very hard left contingent that is seeking to completely overturn every sense of stability, every sense of normality that we ever knew, right? For what reason? You know, one can only assume, right? One can only assume, but the idea is that it's not sustainable. And as all of this goes further and further that way, just like I say, like the pendulum or like the whip cracking, it's got to swing back in the other direction, right? And if it swings back, Gary Clothier, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Anybody that's a father, anybody that has a father, our Father in heaven, right? So we've got to make communities where we come online, we talk about this stuff, we have communities online, but we have to start making our own real life communities, and that's obviously what we all should be doing anyways, right? But we can't always be online, and hopefully not everybody here is always online. Hopefully you are making contacts in real life, right? Because we can come on here, we can go on Telegram, we can talk on Messenger, we can keep in contact and everything like that, but we also have to have people that are at least in close proximity of each other that we can rely upon. We have to build these high trust societies again. And if it's just a high trust group, you know, a close circle, right? A small tight knit group, right? You know, in your community, well then so be it. It will grow as things continue to get worse and worse, as food becomes more and more expensive, as gas becomes more and more ridiculous, right? As just the left agenda continues to get more and more insane. People are going to want to opt out more and more, and as they see people that have already taken the steps to begin opting out of the system, right? They are also going to want to leave Babylon, right? Come out of her, right, my children, right? And be not a partaker of her plagues, for her destruction cometh in 1 hour, right? So we have to begin exiting Babylon, so to speak, and begin to get used to not being part of the system, shutting off from the system, right? Not having any part of it. Even its entertainment, right? That we all love to enjoy and whatnot, right? Like, don't even bother with it. You know, I used to love movies. I used to love music. I used to love all the popular things, right? I used to be a popular guy. You know, I used to be a pretty cool dude, right? I know it's hard to believe, but I was a very, very cool dude. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. From what I remember, I thought I was cool anyways. No, but seriously, you know, I used to be fully, you know, in the world as much as anybody else, right? And I've just slowly been kind of stepping out of it, you know, little by little. And if anything, the last 2-3 years since all this crap has really been going on, it's only accelerated my exit from this system. But I'm not fully there, right? I'm not fully there. And it's hard to get there now, right? Because if you haven't been at least somewhat financially set at this point, it's hard to acquire some of the things that, you know, you still need to get yourself set up. But I think that any bit of preparation is better than no preparation. So as long as you can do what you can do in this time, whether it's growing a little food, canning a little food, figuring out how to preserve a little food, you know, just learning basic survival techniques and skills, right? Homesteading, learning how to deal with no power, different things like that, right? Like, You never know when anything like that is going to happen. Hopefully, we got a while before that takes place. But in the meantime, as energy prices continue to soar, as gas prices continue to soar, as groceries continue to soar, as rent continues to soar, so on and so forth, people are going to have to start choosing between different things. We're already hearing and seeing different things where people are, they're having to quit their job because they can't afford to drive the distance that they drive to go to this job. So they're probably going to have to get more local jobs. They're going to have to, people are going to have to start understanding that, in fact, there is work available. They just have to be willing to do the work. There's work. People just have to be willing to do it. People have to know where to find this work, right? Because people are too used to them. Most people are looking for like corporate jobs, really, clean jobs, stuff like that. But, there might be a lot of, dirty, hard-working, maybe not too laborers, but fairly laborers jobs that are ready, that need to be done now, that people are going to be looking for people to do, right? There's going to be all kinds of needs out there. There's going to be needs for people to have food, right? If you can grow food, and you can grow food well, and you can teach other people to grow food, or you can, grow large quantities of food. If you can have animals and raise animals, and you have the property to, raise a lot of animals and, butcher them and whatnot, you have those skills and whatnot, and you can, provide meat and so on and so forth, like, you're going to be a very popular person, right? If you can do any kind of carpentry or build anything, or anything about plumbing, or just basic stuff, right? Like, all these skills that are so overlooked now, that are so old school and from the past, are going to be what's needed in the future to be self-sufficient and self-sustaining, right? Because the future does not look very sustainable in the current trajectory. So anyways, guys, this is not a stream, so I'm not gonna go too much longer. I just wanted to run by and catch up with everybody, say hello, let you know that I'm not a tease. I'm just a little bit of a tease, just a little bit of a tease. I like to say, oh yeah, I'm streaming tonight. Oh, 10:30, 10:45, 10:46. And then I move it to the next day. And then suddenly I show up. What about the Nerd World Order? The Nerd World Order will happen, East Coast Canadian. It will happen. It will happen, my friend. It just is not going to happen tonight. It's not going to happen tonight. I did talk a little bit about, thinking about getting in the mindset of stuffing the nerd metaphorically into the locker, right? The nerd's got the ball. He wants to control the game. And instead of playing his game, we could just take his ball from him, right, and push him over, or we could just say, keep your ball, and we're going to go over here and start our own game, right? Because we're cooler than you. Shabugala, cheers, boys. Wise words. She's a tough go finding the folk that are ready to come out of her. Yes. No, it is. But they are there. They are there. You just... And it's not even necessarily like... It's not even that you gotta... David FL, hello, brother. You don't have to, know these people where you're with them all the time, every day, where you know what I mean? Like, I don't have the time for that. And and these people don't have the time for that. Like, everybody's got lives, right? Everybody's... Peter got too high to stream. Is that it? No, it's just too late. It's just too late. And if I start, then it'll be like 12, and then I gotta work in the morning. That's all. That's the thing. And I've been working. I've been at it all day. I've been at it all weekend. No. East Coast. You motherfucker. So no, yeah. There's people around. You just got to... I know you are, but it's all good. You just got to find them. And not everybody's at the same place as you are, right? There's a lot of people that are looking to come out of it, but they don't really necessarily know how to come out of it. They don't know where to start, right? So you might be the person that's going to, help in the aspect of, whatever it is that you're good at, right? They're going to have their capabilities, you're going to have your capabilities, and you're going to work together. And like I said, you don't have to be with these people all the time. Everybody's got their own lives. The whole thing is, if the people are good, right? If I've met these people, if I know that they're good, if the kids are good, right? If I let my kids go, and like if the kids hang out together, if I meet the parents, right? We're on the same page with everything. You know, there's a high trust there, right? We have a bunch of stuff in common. We have all things in common, right? They're believers, right? Even some of them that aren't believers necessarily, but they're not, not believers either. They're just who they are, right? As long as you can trust each other, right? And know that, hey, our kids are safe with each other. They're safe at your place. They're safe at my place. You know, we can get together. The kids can play. But you don't have to be in each other's life all the time because everybody's got things they got to do. It's good to have community, though. I think you're going to see more community come out of this stuff, right? Like I was saying to the wife today, we made barbecue sauce. We made rubarbecue sauce. So anyways, you take rhubarb. We had rhubarb. You boil it down with white onion, and raisins, and brown sugar. Good amount of brown sugar. We doubled the recipe and did 2 batches. The second batch we added figs to it and some garlic. And it was tasty. It's tasty. So we got like 12 bottles. No, 12, 13. 13, like the medium, regular, like mason jar glasses. And then like 6 of small, like just like the small jelly containers kind of thing. Tasty. Used some of it on chicken today. I marinated, put the chicken in a bag, put some of it on top, and just press the chicken to tenderize it, smush it in, and then let it sit for probably about an hour and a half or so, and every now and again kind of working it a little bit and whatnot. Barbecued that, and we had fajitas tonight. Like, take the fajitas, cook the peppers, cook the onions, put a little cheese on the wrap, put the peppers down, cut the chicken up, tuck the ends in, roll it up, put a little butter in the frying pan, set her down, cook all the sides. So basically you make like a friggin' shell rectangle. A little bit of salsa, some Greek yogurt. Dang. It's good. Yeah, Shabugala, the rhubarb sauce was really tasty. No, really good. It was really good on the chicken, so it tasted basically exactly as I thought it would. I'd almost like it to have a little more, maybe onion, a little more garlic taste to it, but definitely sweet and definitely tangy. So, good for whatever ails you. Lots of brown sugar. Lots of brown sugar. Thanks for popping in, Peter. Happy Father's Day. Was hoping I might see you tonight, even if it isn't a stream. Haha, because it's not a stream, guys. Nice and tangy. Hit with some mustard. Ooh. And that's the thing, too. You could add, like, once you open a bottle of it, you could add a few different things to it. So, we're going to be doing all kinds of canning this year. Did a lot last year. We're going to be doing all kinds of different stuff this year. And more in general. So got to be getting all those bottles, all those mason jars before they're all sold out, because about middle of the summer you're gonna have a hard time getting mason jars and getting covers and stuff like that. They'll come in and out. So got to get that stuff. If what money you have, like if I never got into the Bitcoin thing or nothing like that, so I don't get any cryptocurrency or anything like that. I've known about Bitcoin for a long time, like back when it was like you know, probably nothing when I could have got into it and it would have been, you know, a lot of money and stuff like that. But, you know, I wasn't into that stuff, never was, never probably will be, probably should have been, should be, but is what it is. So, you know, if you're not invested in any of that stuff, you got to be invested in, you know, stuff like seeds and, you know, stuff that you can use every day and all that kind of stuff, right? You got to get yourself set up so you can survive if you're not really in the financial situation to survive, because the whole point is that when it gets to a certain point, people are gonna beg to go to the FEMA camps. If they got all these camps built and they never used them during COVID, well, when there is a famine, a food shortage, when no one has any money, or if there's no power or anything like that, no one's got money and everybody's friggin' running around the streets acting all crazy and shit, people are just going to be begging to go for 3 hots and a cot at a friggin' government quarantine camp, right? Look at yard sales for jars and secondhand shops. Yes, just the only thing you really got to watch out for is the lids. You got to just make sure you get good new sealed lids and not any rust on them, really. But yeah, you can get jars all over the place. So, and I think probably, you know, you can go on. I haven't done it yet, but from what I heard, you can go on Amazon and you can get like a big friggin' bulk set of those lids. So maybe you can get them at Costco too. I don't know, but that'd probably be a better idea because they're like friggin' $5 or $6 a pop for a friggin' little box of lids, right? That's retarded. But self-sustainability, that's the future, guys, right? They don't want you to be sustainable. They want you to be a robot. They're training people to be like computers, like robots stuff currently, like machines and stuff. They're all run on like just signals, right? Like back and forth and stuff like that. Like they want people to run on that same level because the human brain is really, and the body, everything about us is super complex, and they wanted to dumb us down to a very simple, like, oh, I must drink, type, you know, jerk off, continue on, right? They want you to be programmed like a friggin' robot just to do stuff and not to think. They don't want you to have any thoughts of your own. They don't want you to, you know, question anything, right? But the whole fact is that you've got to question it, right? And just because they say that you can't question things doesn't mean you don't question it, right? Just because they say that you can't be a certain way, you know, because it's, you know, this or that or bad word, right? Doesn't mean you stop being that way, right? Because if anything, if you're doing what they're telling you not to do, then you're probably over the target. You're on point, right? Because at this point in time, up is down and down is up, right? Good is evil and evil is good. So, you know, basically, we got to not pay attention to these people because they are insane. They are fools. And what's the point in arguing with a fool? You can't win with them. They're always going to be stupid. They're never going to answer a question. They're not going to do anything. And unless we're going to just go, okay, like I said, and just take the ball from the nerd. So unless, you know, metaphorically we go and drag them out of, you know, some building and take them up to, you know, some type of structure and have some kind of mock trial and do something like that, you know, unless we're going to do that, right, then we're not going to win, right, in that realm, because that's what they want people to do, right, is to go that route. But we don't want to go that route. Do you want to go that route? Right? Because once we go that route, it's a very dark route. So what you can do, right, is if everybody wants to be part of that friggin' mud pie over there, then we just need to go over here and learn to go over here on our own and do our thing. And it's going to be hard, but I mean, that's what people have done all throughout history. That's what they had to do. If they wanted to survive, if they wanted to get away from the thing that was oppressing them, they had to go off and start anew somewhere else. That's how new peoples, new bands, new, you know, families, you know, formed in all those different countries, right? Because there'd be some kind of fight, squabble, and so one family or two families would move and go somewhere else, and they would start a new band, a new kind of colony over here, right? And you have all these different people groups that would spread out, right? And that happened because of conflict, because people can't get along with each other, let alone everybody from all over the world, right? And they want to stick everybody together in this melting pot and think that it's going to come out tasting good, right? Like, you think about that. You think you put everything together, it's going to taste good? No, it's going to taste like shit. And lo and behold, we're living in shit. So, 2 plus 2 is 5. 2 plus 2 is 4. Barney on The Simpsons. 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. But in this case, 2 plus 2 is 5. The old ones are better. Don't bend so easy. Yeah, that's true too. The new ones, like, if you open them, right, they're hard to get open necessarily. So maybe you take something kind of prime a little bit, you bend it, they're done. What did you dream? It's all right. We told you what to. It's all right. We told you what to dream. My neighbors exposed themselves during the hoarding stage. None of them even considered the elderly. 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 3. Yeah, exactly. And if you don't have anything, right? If you're not prepared, then when it gets to a place where it's like, there's no food, everybody rush, right? Then you don't want to be part of the rush group that goes there and, all the madness that you would see, right? All the chaos that ensues, the Black Friday situations, right? Hopefully you're not in those areas. The Black Friday, which is ironically named. Maybe they should call it White Friday so it's not so, people don't assume something, right? Pink Floyd lyric. Pink Floyd. What song would that be from, Cameron? I'm really not even good with music anymore. Like, I would know some Pink Floyd songs to hear them, but like the names of them, Welcome to the Machine. But I would not friggin' know the name of most of them. Like, there's a lot of songs that I hear, like when people say, oh, so-and-so, the name of them, I'm like, I don't even know who that band is. And they play the song, I'm like, oh yeah, that song. That was in that movie, in that year. So, anyways, this isn't a stream, guys. 32 minutes. So, let's try to meet up tomorrow night. 10 o'clock. Say 10 o'clock? 10:30? 10:30. That's too late too, isn't it? 10 o'clock. Let's go 10 o'clock. I'll see you at 10 tomorrow night. Nerd World Order. How we go from here. Cheer on, streamers. Cheer on. The hoarders and toilet paper scrapers are the same scumbags utilizing the snitch line. Point fire. I'm down for whatevs. I'm down for whatever, man. Alright, guys. Tomorrow night, let's try 10 o'clock. Let's see if we can see each other there. 10 bells. 10 bells. So, everybody have a good night. Take care of yourselves. And peace out. We'll see you tomorrow evening for the Nerd World Order, right? The Nerd World Order featuring Bill Gates, Noel Huari. Probably talk about Elon Musk's ex-baby mama, Grimes. Because that wench is really annoying. And I can't stand that whole type of person. So, we'll get into that stuff. Peace out, guys. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Thank you, Lord above, Father above. We must monitor what is happening under their skin. They are lunatics. So, where's the hidden hand? Good to see you, buddy. Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Gary Clothier. Peace out, buddy. Peace out, everybody.